Welcome back, welcome back. Did destiny not kill it? Did destiny not kill it, ladies? Y'all show us some love. Let me see it, let me see it. Yeah, I told you, destiny is vicious out here. But look, this next speaker I got coming, listen, he was so nice, man. We had to do that thing twice. He went off with our younger students, our elementary students, at the beginning of the week during VBS. And when I tell y'all they were on fire, y'all say they was lit and all that. So y'all terminology is a little different. But I say he had the stage on fire with my babies, and he had to come back to give my middle, my high, and my collegiate students that work. Yep. So listen, my big brother, man, I get to introduce, so I got to set it off right. Y'all show some love for my brother, Mr. Sean S.F. Banks. He's worked with youth development for over the past 20 years. And he believes that each and every one of you students, you can have it all. Yep. And this is his passion, y'all. This is his heartbeat. And now he's from Seattle, Washington. Seattle, if y'all check it in, show him some love. But he currently resides in the ATL. So you know now this is his new home. But Seattle, we see you, right? Now Sean is the creator of the first ever youth magazine called You Can Have It All. It's an international youth and parent motivational development magazine, the first of its kind. He's the author of multiple books. He has this yearly summer camp where he works year-round with students to take them through personal development. He works with not only the students, but he works with their parents. And I've had the honor of gracing the stage for 2 years straight at the You Can Have It All conference. And when I tell y'all, those students go crazy. It's jam-packed. I'm looking forward to the next conference. He also has a martial arts and a self-defense program where he teaches women and children how to defend themselves. And my bro, he sponsors the You Can Have It All orphanage out there in Bombo, Uganda in East Africa. That's why we got my African family checking in. What up, baby? So look, I've had the honor of calling this my big bro, a mentor, my brother. He's taught me, he's pushed me by being an example. He's motivated my gift. He's pushed me in my gift. And he's truly been an inspiration and an impact on my life. And so, listen, I want y'all to show some crazy love for the big bro. And welcome Mr. Sean S.F. Banks. Let's go, big dog.
How y'all doing at home? All over these wonderful United States. How you doing? Let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you. And we want to get you out of the box today. A lot of you have been in the box for so long with what you've been going through. The box of COVID, the box of depression, the box of fear, the box of feeling less than, the box of self-doubt. And now it's time to break out of the box because you were never designed to be in a box. The God we serve does not live in a box. He does not limit you to a box. Because the Creator lives in you, you have unlimited potential. Right where you are, say unlimited potential. Say, I can have it all. Because the truth is, you can do anything in life that you believe you can do. So when we talk about being maxed out, who was maxed out? Who was our example of being maxed out? The number one example we have of being maxed out is Jesus. Because when he died on the cross, what did he do? He gave it all. He maxed out. And so because he lives in you, you can live a maxed out lifestyle that can impact people all over the globe. Repeat after me. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Move out the way because I'm on the way. Say it again right where you are at home or you're with your friends or at school, wherever you are. Say it again. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Move out the way because I'm on the way. One more time. I'm fired up. We need to feel it. I want to feel it. I'm ready to go. Move out the way because I'm on the way. What does fired up mean? Fired up means, man, we got the fire of God on the inside of us. That means that we have incorruptible seed on the inside of us. And it doesn't matter how young you are. Some of you are in middle school. Some of you are in high school. Some of you are in college. And you are unstoppable right where you are with what you have. So we're talking about being maxed out. And being maxed out, you are more than. When you are maxed out, you're at the top, you're at the pinnacle. And it's at that point where God does his greatest work in you. So you are more than your past, you are more than your present, and you are more than your future. Again, you are more than your past, you are more than your present, and you are more than your future. You're more than your past because your past does not define who you are. When I was a kid, we grew up without a lot. I grew up in a single-parent household. I knew my father, but my mother was the one that took care of my sister and I. We grew up in housing projects where there was gunshots everywhere. There was drugs everywhere. I grew up right when crack came out. So I remember what it was like to go outside and play, and then all of a sudden you couldn't go play anymore. I know what it was like to see people that you admired walking down the street, and all of a sudden they had changed. They had become zombies. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have your lights cut off, and your mom comes home and says, okay, well, we're going to have candlelight dinner. I know what it's like to stand in a food bank line, and some of you have gone through that, and some of you are going through that now, but your past doesn't define who you are. You are more than your past. Say it at home. Say, I'm more than my past. Say it again. Say, I'm more than my past. One more time. Say it. Say, I'm more than my past. When I was a little boy, my mother used to walk me down the street, and she would take me past these car dealerships where there were Lamborghinis and Ferraris in the windows. And we were walking, and she would say, you know, you can have one of those one day. You know, and we would walk down the street, and she'd take me to school. And my mother had a dream, and that's what fired up my dream. And we started cleaning houses. And, you know, it's not a real prestigious job, especially when your friends find out that you're cleaning floors and you're cleaning toilets as a kid. But what it did for me was that I was able to clean houses of people that were lawyers, doctors, engineers, all kind of successful people. And it started to build a dream in me. People that had pools inside their basement downstairs and saunas, and they traveled all over the world. And so it built a dream. So what it did is it let me know where I could be, and that the circumstances I was going through didn't define where I would go. And so my past was not going to define my life. And so for you, your past doesn't define your life. And that's what we're talking about, that you can have it all because your past doesn't define where you're going to go. Secondly, you are more than your present circumstances. You are more than your present circumstances. Hear me clearly. Look at me. Some of you are going through things at home that you don't want to be going through. There are things that have happened to you. There are things that are going on. But your circumstances, your present situation, does not limit you. It can't hold you because of the God that is inside of you. I remember times in my life where I didn't know how I was going to make it, even as a young adult. When I first got to college, I didn't have no food. There was no food to eat. We had to figure it out, just like a lot of college students. When we moved to Atlanta from Seattle, Washington, when I was in middle school, my mother and I, we didn't have anywhere to live. We slept in a truck for a few days before a lady on the street that my mother had met previously bringing my sister to college said we could live with her. The present situation that we were in wouldn't stop us, didn't stop us from where we're going and where we were going, and it won't stop you. like Pastor Smith said, I started out serving in the ministry. Everything that I do now, working with kids, I never wanted to do. I never had a passion to work for kids, work with kids, never. It was nothing that I wanted to do. But when I was serving in the ministry at my church, they would always put me over where the youth were, and I hated it, right? We're talking about an example of a present situation that I was going through, to give you an example, and I hated it. I hated doing it. Why you put me over here with these kids and all these booger fingers and all that? I didn't want to have nothing to do with no kids. But they would always put me back over there because I wanted to be somewhere else. I wanted to be serving down at the front. I wanted to be seen. I was young. But they would always put me back where the youth were. Well, about 2008, the market changed, and all of a sudden, I didn't have a way to make money for myself. I didn't have a way to take care of myself. And I had to figure out, what is it that I can do to be able to take care of myself? And one of my training partners said, hey, man, let's start a martial arts program. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do nothing like that. I'm like, I want to figure out how I can make some money. And he said, man, let's try. Let's see if we can do it. And so I said, all right. And so we tried it. And what started happening is that I saw a need. And this is a message for a lot of you that are dealing with present situations in your life. I saw a need with youth, that youth were not benefiting from what was going on in the community the way that they should be. And so we started teaching, and we got one school, and we got another school, and we found another school, and we found another school, and we started teaching all over the city. And then from there, we said, okay, well, man, people need stuff to do during the summertime. Youth need something to do during the summertime. But there was no programs during the summer. So then we started Camp Warrior King, a youth motivational development program that exposes kids to activities they normally wouldn't experience during the school year. So now we teach kids how to hunt, how to fish. We take them out hiking. They have cooking classes, boxing classes, martial arts, cheer, dance, aerobics, yoga. They do all kinds of things. But the present situation I was in, I didn't want to do it. But if I wasn't listening, and if I wasn't in tune, I would have missed it. And so a lot of you in your present situation, what is it that you see around you that you could change if you had the passion to do it? Another present situation. One of the things you got to realize is that God is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. He will guide you to wherever it is that you want to do. A lot of you so far have been dealing with, what is it that I can do with everything that's happened? You've been at home a lot. You haven't seen your friends. But there's a lot of you that have been creating. You've been at home and you've been creating. You've had time by yourself away from some of the negative influences, and God's been working in you. And those things that he's been doing to work in you are the very things that you're going to be able to do to impact other people all over. And a lot of us want to do like global things and go all around the world, but it starts at home. It starts right where you are. So let me give you another example of a present circumstance that I was in, and how that circumstance, how I was more than that circumstance, and how God was more than that circumstance to get me out of it. We were planning a conference, a crusade conference in Uganda. And I met a gentleman, and God spoke to me in my heart and said, go. And I'm like, go where? Go to Africa. And I'm like, all right. Because I had never been before. And I had never done that before. But he said, go. All right, we're going to go. Because what I learned from my grandmother, because a lot of you are raised by your grandmothers, what I learned from my grandmother was to keep my hand in God's hand. When God said do something, you do it. When you felt the presence of God tell you to do something, you do it. So I said, all right, well, we're going to Africa. I had not seen the person that I was going to do all this work with. I had talked to them online. We had talked, getting things worked out, but the Lord said go. When it was time to go, I had a team of people that were supposed to go with me. Everybody backed out. Everybody quit. But God was still like, go. All right? Listen to this right here. With whatever it is that you want to do in your life, right now in your present situation, God will make a way for you. Like I said, God is a lamp to your feet and a light to your what? Path. He's going to show you what you need, what you got to do, and how to work it out along the way. So I go. Let's get back to the story. I get on the plane. I get over there. Like I said, lamp to your feet, light to your path. I get over there. The man that I was supposed to meet, his name was Matthew. Now, was I afraid? Was I battling fear? Absolutely. Because I was by myself going all the way across the globe to East Africa. But God doesn't give us a spirit of fear. He gives us a spirit of power, love, sound mind, discipline, and what? Self-control. So I was grounded. When I got off the plane, I was supposed to meet a man named Matthew. When I got off the plane, there was Matthew, Enoch, Joel, and a brother named Shadrach. When I met those brothers, I knew I was good. Why? Because I knew they were listening to their word. I knew the prophet and men of God that they were named after. I was solid. And from there, we went all over ministering. Here's the thing that happened. When we got there, there were all kind of people that had said, hey, look, something told me to come here. People told me to come, that there were going to be things that were going to happen if we came. Had I not listened, there would be people that God would have steered to someone else, because God's not going to allow anybody to miss their blessing because of you. They would have had to go to someone else, but I would have been accountable for not listening. Why didn't you go? Why did you allow that fear to stop you? So some of you in your present circumstances, you're young adults, some of you in your present circumstances have things that you can do, that you want to do, that God's telling you to do, and you're staying in a box because you're afraid of what your friends are going to think about you. You're afraid about what your girlfriend or your boyfriend is going to say. But God doesn't want you in a box. He wants you out of a box. He wants you maxed out for him. Your present circumstances doesn't determine your future. What you're going through right now doesn't determine your future. I was going through it. I was afraid, but it didn't determine my future. It didn't stop me, because God is with us all the time. He's with you. Some of you don't have any food to eat tonight. Some of you don't know who your parents are. Some of you don't have any friends. Some of you are lonely right now. But let me tell you, your present circumstance doesn't determine what you're going to become in life. It's okay. Some of you feel like you're overweight because everything you see says you're supposed to be skinny. But God loves you just how you are. You're perfect just how you are. You don't have to live for anybody else but the Lord. Your present circumstance does not determine where it is that you're going. You are more than your present circumstance. Repeat after me. I am strong. I am free. I can be whatever I see. I am smart. I have the heart to finish what I start. Point to yourself. Say, no fear here. Say it again. Say, no fear here. Because I have power. What is power? Power is the ability to get results. Let's do it again. Say, no fear here. Because I have power. That means I have the ability to get results. I'm a winner, not a coward. I have faith. So I decree victory. Victory. Victory now. Not one day, Not sometime 20 years from now, right now. See, you're a child of God, so whatever you say is so. You can speak things into existence. If you don't believe me, try it. We speak things into existence. Pastor DeMarcus Smith speaks things into existence. He spoke this into existence. We speak it, and then it manifests. You can speak it, and it will show up in your life. If you want more, speak more. Some of you don't have what you want because you keep saying you don't have what you want. Man, I'm broke. I can't get no job. Don't nobody like me. Well, I wouldn't like you either if you're talking about someone who don't like you. You can speak it right where you are. 12, 13, 14, 21, 19, 18, 17. You can speak it into your life right now. That's part of being maxed out for God. When Jesus died on the cross, he gave it all to you. For you to be able to max it out on the earth. People should be able to look at you and see that there's something different about you. They should be able to see it on you because of the time you spend with God, the friends you associate with, and what you're putting into your heart. They should be able to see it. Now, you're more than your future. Now, I know a lot of you saying, man, Sean, how can I be more than my future? My future isn't even here yet. How can I be more than my future? That don't make sense. Well, Alan Kay said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. A lot of you young people that are watching, you can create anything that you want to create. What future do you want? You are not boxed into the future that people are showing you on TV. Because they're showing you what people like you do, or they're showing you what people that look like you, how they act. That has nothing to do with you, child of God. Absolutely nothing to do with you and your potential because you're set aside. Your future is yours. Your future is yours. And you can create the future that you want. You are not limited to racism. You're not boxed into it. You're not boxed into poverty. You're not boxed into depression. You're not boxed into fear. You're not boxed into guilt. You're not boxed into rejection. You have no limits. Look up in the sky and look at all the stars and look at everything that God's created. And you think that if he created all those masterpieces, that he would limit you? The same God that created all the beautiful stuff that we see lives in you. So what can you do with the gift that God has given you? The unlimited potential that God has given you. The unlimited ability that lives in you. The unlimited capacity to change other people's lives. Pastor DeMarcus believes in all of you. I believe in you. You can do anything that you set your mind to. But you must first believe it for yourself. Your future is a blank page waiting for you to write it out. Create the future that you want for yourself. Now, a couple things. How do we get to that? Because we talked about you can have it all and all this stuff. How do we get to that? Well, a couple things. One, you got to watch who you associate with. Who are your friends? Who are your friends? Like your real friends. The ones that really have your back. The ones that tell you when you're wrong and they say you're wrong. Not the ones that try to get you to do stuff you're not supposed to do. But your real friends. The ones that a lot of times you get mad at because they tell you when you're not right. Your real friends. Who are you associated with? What are you reading? See, What we know right now is that a lot of people don't want to read, but the knowledge is in books. What are you reading? Who are you associating with? What are you reading? And what are you listening to? What are you watching? What's going in your eye gate and your ear gate? Are you listening to things that's making you want to do certain things? Are you watching things that's making you want to do certain things? Let me give you an example. There's never been a drive-by listening to Luther Vandross. Or for some of you that are a little younger, I'll say, who's a singer now? Maybe Bryson Tiller or Justin Timberlake. There's never been a drive-by like that. What happens is they listen to what gets them in the mood to do the things that they want to do. What are you watching? What are you putting in your eye gate? I guarantee you, if you watch what you listen to and what you watch, it'll drastically change your life. Try it. In closing, your future is bright. There are no limits on you. God wants to blow your mind. Say it again. Say it. Say, God wants to blow my mind. God wants to blow your mind with things that you have yet to see. Your future is yours. I'm going to leave you with something that Les Brown says all the time, and he says this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, and to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, and if all that you dream and scheme is about it and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and a stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish or gall, sickness or pain or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. Maxed out. Y'all stay maxed out, man. There's nothing you can't do. Thank you so much. God bless you.